So I know it's not really barbecue. Maybe we'll call it Mongolian barbecue. But I've been really getting into wok cooking and Asian cooking. I wouldn't say I'm great at it, but this turned out pretty well. Gonna throw some scallions, a little bit of green onion in there, mostly the green tops for a little garnish. And so this is some stir-fried beef with some fried rice. We're gonna take you back through and show you exactly how we did this. Modified my gas burning stove to have more of a wok burner as well. So we'll show you how we did that. Okay, so we're gonna get our beef marinating. And when I say marinating, this is essentially gonna be in here for maybe 30 minutes, as long as it takes me to get the other stuff ready for the rest of this meal. So it's not like an all day or overnight thing. I've got some cornstarch, we'll get in there. I have got some baking soda. I have some sugar. I've got some fresh pressed garlic. I have some dark soy sauce, which you could use regular soy sauce. I had to actually get my dark soy sauce mail ordered, but you might want to cut back on it. And we're gonna do, let me look, just over 2 teaspoons. And I'm just going to eyeball that. There we go. And we have some oyster sauce. Gonna do a couple of teaspoons of that as well. This is gonna add some good umami. A couple of teaspoons there. And I will put these ingredients as well as the measurements in the description. As you can see, I'm eyeballing some of it. And more often than not, I always like to add a little MSG in the form of accent. Not too much, just a little. We're gonna use a little more of that later. And that's gonna do it. Well, that's actually not gonna do it, but we're gonna get this mixed around, and then we'll talk about the next step of this marinade. So I'm just mixing this in this bag. You can of course use any kind of vessel. I just decided to keep the bag I was already using. Then after this gets nice and coated, and looking down in there, making sure those pieces got separated, and it did. We are going to add, oops, gotta get it out of the cupboard, a couple teaspoons of neutral oil. I'm using avocado oil here. It's my go-to neutral oil. And the reason I'm doing this after mixing this around is you want to let that marinade coat the meat before you add your oil. Otherwise it will block the marinade from getting in there. And I'm also going to use a little bit of sesame oil. Not too much. A little goes a long way with sesame oil, but that'll add some nice flavor. And now we will mix this around again. And we'll put that off to the side. We're going to move on next to our getting our stuff ready for the rice, and we'll bring you back. Okay, I think I have everything ready. We're gonna start with our beef and get that mostly cooked off. So I'm gonna turn my burner on here, and I'm gonna do a little trick that I don't expect you to do. And you don't have to use a wok for this, but I love my wok. I've been really getting into wok cooking. I'm gonna get my burner on, and I'm going to remove this deflector plate. Here we go. And yeah, that's what we want. And I've got my wok here with some neutral oil. Again, I use avocado oil anytime something calls for neutral oil. And we're gonna get this, make sure my cutting board doesn't catch on fire. We're gonna get this heated. The beef has probably been marinating for about a half an hour. Again, this is not something you want to do for a long time or overnight. You are just going to end up making it too salty. This will be ready to go fairly quickly. And as soon as we start to see that oil shimmering and starting to smoke, we're going to get this beef in there. And that's going to be good, I think. So here we go. And this isn't going to take too long. Grab my wok tool here. Spread this out. We don't want to steam the beef. And by the way, I'm using ribeye. I happen to have some thin cut ribeye steaks in the freezer that I just thawed just enough to be able to slice them and threw them in the bag. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit and just move this around. So we're going to cook this until it's just cooked through, because we're going to end up throwing this back in the wok later as well. So I'm just going to keep stirring this around and probably fast forward this video when it gets to a good spot. All right, so this is pretty good, I think. And when you're cooking in a wok like this and making a stir fry, cooked all the way through is the way I want it, as much as I like a pink steak. It's not the way you want to do your beef here. And like I say, this is going to be going back in the wok before we're done. So I'm going to call it here. I'm going to turn my heat down just because I don't really want to turn it all the way off because of that deflector plate. And we're just going to get this in a bowl and off to the side. So I'm going to get this wok cleaned out, and then we're going to go on and we're going to do our fried rice. So I will bring you back here in just a minute. Okay, let's get started on our rice. So I'm going to add some more of my avocado oil, again, neutral oil. Got the wok cleaned out. There we go. All right. And first thing we're going to do, and we need this oil to heat up first, but it's starting to smoke, is we've got 3 beaten eggs here. So I've got some eggs, I've added a little bit of salt, and just got them beaten nicely. And we're gonna just dump those in. And I love cooking eggs in the wok. I think it works great. Just gonna agitate it so it doesn't stick. And then use my tool. Now, if you can't get your burner super hot, you can do your egg and then take it out and put it back in later. So do it in stages. I think I'm going to get this hot enough I can just keep it in here. So that's what I'm going to do. I actually have never done this with the burner before, so I usually take it out. But that's going to be good. We don't want it to cook all the way through. We're going to get our rice in now. And this rice, it's best if it's day old. This is done this morning, not quite as old as it should be. Day old rice works better just because it dries out and fries better. But I've done it this way before, and honestly, it's still pretty good. Uncle Roger, if you know Uncle Roger, would make fun of me. I'd probably be Jamie Oliver to him. So now we're going to put the egg back in the rice and break the egg up, which is also going to help us break the rice up. You know, the key is to have it in individual grains. Just keep it moving, at least for now. Give it a little toss over the flame. One thing Kenji Lopez does is uses a torch if he's doing it inside to kind of give it that wok, since you can't quite get it hot enough like a wok burner. But my torch is ridiculous. I don't have a small food torch, so we're not going to do that. All right. All right, the best laid plans. I just realized the mistake I made is I have some carrots here that were supposed to go in here, and they should have been done first. So we're skipping carrots in this fried rice tonight because they will never cook up and be done. All right, one thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of MSG in the form of accent. One of the YouTubers I watch now and again calls this the God particle. I can't remember who that was. Pretty funny. I'm also going to add a little bit of white pepper. I like white pepper in wok cooking, so a little bit of that. You can certainly use black pepper or no pepper at all. The other thing I should have added, not as big a deal as the carrots, is my onions. I just went straight to the egg. So, but you're gonna see the real deal here, mistakes and all. But I'll go ahead and add the onions now. That'll be fine. They'll certainly cook up quicker than the carrots that I have now decided to eliminate. Getting some nice browning on this, which is great. All right, we're gonna add some soy sauce. Actually, we're gonna add 3 different things here, 4 different things. Gonna add a little bit of oyster sauce, and we're gonna do this on the side of the pan. It's important for the soy sauce. Let it get some of that smoky wok flavor. Gonna mix that in. There we go. Now make another spot for our, we're going to use some regular soy sauce, not much, and it's going to go the side of the pan also, and some dark soy sauce. If you don't have dark soy sauce, skip it, that's fine. But again, the side of the pan. Get it all mixed in there. And the last thing we're gonna throw in is some Shaoxing wine. Skip it if you don't have it. Use cooking wine if you want to, just a little bit. There we go. And just like that, our rice is just about done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this to the serving platter that's going to be used, and I am then going to throw my already cooked beef back in the pan in order to warm it up. It's probably still warm, but I'm just going to get that just in case. Doing this off camera just because it's hard to manage. All right, there we go. Now we're just warming this through. So I'm going to turn this off, get this on the platter, and we will see you in just a minute. Okay, so let's give this a try. Our ribeye steak beef stir fry with some fried rice. Rice is still difficult for me on chopsticks, but we'll do the best we can. So good. I love wok cooking. I'm really getting into Asian cooking, so that's sort of going to be a sideline to Buckeye Barbecue. But give it a try. You don't have to have a wok. You can do this totally in a regular skillet. It's lacking a little authenticity in the end, but that's okay. Do what you got to do. It's really not that difficult. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So we'll see you next time at Buckeye Barbecue. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it very much. If you haven't already liked this video and subscribed to the channel, I sure would appreciate you doing that. See you next time. Everybody ready to eat?